there is this basic principle among us as human beings that we respond to offers and requests as given. Meaning, if someone makes a request, we have opportunity to meet that request, to fulfill that request, but to go over and above what someone asks for may not be the loving thing to do. There's this story I was told a number of years ago about a king, and in his palace, in his throne room, in the public space where people could come and to see him and to offer things and to make requests. And many people came during the day and were making requests of the king, and he declined to meet each and every one of them. And the day went on, and his servant who was next to him, of course, was watching all of this happening and making note. And near the end of the day, a man came and he made this outlandish, extravagant, ridiculous request, way above what anybody else had been making that day, a request bigger than any others. And this request the king granted. And after all the people had gone, the king's aide asked the king, "King, why did you ignore all of those smaller requests? Why did you dismiss every one of them? But then when that outlandish request came, you responded and agreed to that request. Why is this?" And the king replied to him, "Because the last request was a request fit for a king." And this challenges us to, first of all, know what we want, and then to have the courage to ask for it. And of course, we know this as a metaphor for the King of all kings, God, the creator of heaven and earth, the one to whom we can look and dare to draw near and to bring ourselves and to bring our requests. Some years ago, I was on ministry trip in third world, majority world country, and we had come back to our home and ministry base within that country, and it was quite dusty. We had been away a week or something and needed the dust removed from the floor and our clothes washed as well, because we were on a pretty short turnaround, 24-30 hours, and we were heading back out again. And so one of us went out and found a young gal, a young woman who would come and take care of the dust on the floors and to do our laundry. And she did about 3 hours of heavy labor to accomplish all of that. I asked what we should pay, and the money amount said to me was a little crazy. It was crazy low. It was so low for 3 hours of hard work in context of where I'm used to being, what that amount of work would normally cost where I live. So I doubled the amount to give to the girl, and she, thought she had died and gone to heaven in terms of the amount that she received for her work. But in my own context, again, from where I come from, even though I had doubled it, it was still, 1/20th of what that same amount of work would have been reimbursed for where I live. And it occurred to me that she didn't know what to ask. Like, she didn't understand the context of myself, where I came from, how much that sort of labor is worth in my own country and area. So she didn't really know me, and she didn't know my context and my willingness in a situation like this. I like to pay well for work well done. I don't give money away, but it's nice to pay well for work. And she didn't know what to ask. And if she had even asked 10 times that initial amount requested, I would have gladly paid that. But I've come to understand that we don't overgive way beyond what people ask for. There was somebody I knew who did that years back, had befriended a fellow homeless guy on the streets, and the relationship was a good one. It was healthy. It seemed a mutual friendship was growing. And we have to understand that homelessness is a result of disconnection. Addiction is a result of disconnection. And so there was a good connection being built. And then the person who had been befriending this fellow and walking alongside him for some time and building a relationship with him gave him a gift of money that was, I suspected, too extravagant. It would have challenged the man. It would have brought up all sorts of shame memories, all sorts of unworthiness. Why would I be given this much money? And the man disappeared after that. He did not stay in contact. He did not stay in relationship with the man who was befriending him, because the over generosity did not match the man's request or uphold his sense of self. It actually challenged it and made him found wanting, because his sense of self did not match that amount of money. And the beauty of that relationship previous to that really didn't depend on money. It depended on rapport and connection and friendship. And when we take money and apply it to friendship, we degrade the friendship. So it's a bit complicated. It's something we need to be aware of in our relationships with each other. But so I've seen how generosity can go bad. And so when this gal had done all that work and she asked for such a tiny amount of money, and I gave a little bit more, but I actually would have given so much more if she had known what to ask. And it challenged me at the time to really think about what I'm asking of the Lord. How much do I know God, of his bounty, not in a general grandiose kind of way, but in his generosity of heart unto me? Was I coming to him with the full request of my heart, or was I layering over my desires or my wants or my needs with denial? Oh no, I'm fine, it's okay, and really robbing from this exchange that could happen of deep care, of full provision, of manna day by day, every day, and whatever that might be. And I think the love of money, where in scripture it says that the love of money is the root of all evil, is that we ascribe value to these money amounts, to the numbers, when really it's as easy for the Lord to walk in a small, what we would call a small money figure, as opposed to a large money figure. But that actually it's the part of our hearts that shift into each of these things in different ways. And we have, because we respond to different money amounts in different ways, we have defiled money, because the humility, the vulnerability, the gratitude that opens doors or makes us a match for the good things of God is the same movement, it's the same shifting within our spirit, regardless of money amount. And really what we have to overcome is our own small-mindedness and a lack of expectation, and where we're not close enough to the Lord to get what he actually wants to do with us and through us, and where we have become pinched and narrow in our spirit and in our heart and mind, and then we wonder why life isn't expanding. So it's a bunch of stuff to work through and to think about. But the point of that I wanted to bring today was just like, what are you asking of the Lord? Like, what are you risking to ask for, or to even admit to yourself that you would like? Because I think that's where it starts. I like to say, or this is what I feel like I've learned, is that God doesn't owe me anything. God doesn't owe us anything, but he has everything for us. And so we come with hearts of gratitude for what we already have, for the food in our bellies this day, for the increase in our life this week, even if it's a small thing. We don't come demanding. We don't come like belligerent children with hearts of bitterness or, what's that word? I always forget that word. Entitlement. We come in gratitude. We come in thanksgiving. But we come fully honest, longing, wanting. And we bring these things to God. And we come in courage and we make big requests fit for a king. We take courage to do that. And we leave it with the Lord then. And we watch as things unfold on our behalf from the heart of our good, good Father, who would not give us a stone if we asked for bread. So take courage. Come to the Lord with all of your heart, wholehearted, every part of you, and make requests fit for a king. Come into the vulnerability of that and take the courage in that. So bless you today.